You use what you have. And if you can see behind me, this banner here is just made from old t-shirts and actually an old shoelace.
Hello, thank you for checking out Earth Care. When we think about entertaining, might come with a lot of waste, right? There's disposable plates, cutlery, napkins, the food packaging that's involved. I don't know about you, but once the world really starts opening up again, I want to do all the things. I want to see all the people. I want to have people over. But can we do that without producing so much waste? Susan Gentilcore, founder of All Things Preserved, which is a shop all about zero waste, is joining us on this episode of Earth Care to break down how to do exactly that, how to entertain without producing such a carbon footprint. Susan Gentilcore, right here. Are you in KW? You're in Kitchener, Waterloo, or Cambridge?
I'm in Kitchener.
Kitchener, okay, practically neighbors. The founder of All Things Preserved. Thank you so much for being on Earth Care. What is All Things Preserved? Let's just start right there.
All Things Preserved is my very own company. It's a zero waste lifestyle company. So we, and I say we because I have a team of talented makers, create reusable household products, basically trying to convince people to switch from disposables to reusables. It's that simple.
And my first introduction to All Things Preserved actually was pandemic related, because right at the beginning of the pandemic, I think a lot of us were like, oh no, I can't be wearing a mask and throwing it out every single day. That's gonna hurt my soul. And so I've been rocking All Things Preserved masks all throughout the pandemic. I think they were made from old t-shirts, if I remember correctly, because you have the little signs there.
That's right. Everything we make is made with upcycled materials. And especially during mask making, when stores were closed, obviously because of the pandemic, we were using any materials we could get, sourcing them from the community. All natural materials, but upcycled from anywhere and everywhere.
This makes for an easy segue into basically why you're on Earth Care. We were just talking about the pandemic, but currently as we're having a conversation, it does feel like the world is on its way to opening up again. Yes, fingers, everything. And when you think about entertaining and getting back to just seeing people, having people over, it does come with a lot of waste. You know, you don't want to clean up, so you buy the disposable cutlery, plates. Everything comes in packaged with plastic wrapping. So you're here to break it down and tell us, how do we do this? How do we entertain low waste?
Decorations, because I am a maker, I think everything should be homemade. You use what you have. And if you can see behind me, this banner here is just made from old t-shirts and actually an old shoelace. Quick sew on the sewing machine. I know, totally fun. Everyone has an old t-shirt they can like cut up into triangles. The one above it is actually a duvet cover, just strips the fabric. You know, get your family involved, get your friends involved, just have some fun. So that way we avoid decorations that are harmful to the planet, particularly balloons, which are really colorful, really fun, but really damaging. And you don't have to throw them away. You can repurpose them and you can share them afterwards.
It looks great. You look like you're in the most creative little nook.
I am. And it is really fun. And if you're not a maker, you probably know someone who is. And who doesn't want to contribute, right?
Yeah.
Which brings me to food and drink. So I have a couple props here. Everyone's had food in these plastic containers. Really challenging to recycle. So that's something to consider when you're buying food, but they're great for repurposing. You can use these containers for everything. So it's a choice just to be aware of. Pizza, great for being able to recycle the cardboard if it's clean. And if it's not, it can go in the compost. So again, something to consider when you're choosing.
Wait a second. You can put your pizza box in the compost?
Yeah, so we usually divide up, you know, the top is usually clean, rip it apart. That goes in the recycling. And then the part that has food on it or any oil or anything goes in the green bin. So, yeah. There are also companies, fabulous, incredibly intelligent companies like Echo. This one is in Kitchener or Waterloo. They partner with restaurants and have reusable containers that you can actually get takeout food in. And they have a return system. if you're buying drinks, buying anything, you want to buy the biggest container possible because it generally has more content and less packaging. But having said that, you want to know what is the best option for where you live. So for example, do you choose a plastic bottle of pop, for example? Do you choose a glass bottle? Is there a benefit to both of those? Or cans? Are cans a better option? Now, for example, in Kitchener-Waterloo, our region actually gets paid to recycle cans. So if you have a choice and you buy cans and you recycle them, that is money coming into our community. So that is an awesome thing to look into before you make your beverage purchases.
How did you find that out? So where would someone go about finding that kind of information?
Most regions will have an online presence. So that brings us to actually serving the food. And we all have some assortment of disposables. These are probably a decade old. That's how long we haven't been using disposables. So the great thing about entertaining is when you're entertaining, that particular day or that weekend, chances are all of your friends, they're not entertaining at the same time because they're coming to see you. So it's a great opportunity to share and to borrow. So if you don't have enough plates, ask one of your guests if they have, a stack. Same with, no one likes using plastic cutlery, even though it's cheap and it's easy. It's not great to use. So, find out who has extra that they can just bring over the day before. A little bit extra work, but absolutely no waste. And speaking of borrowing, there are lots of communities, Kitchener-Waterloo included, that have lending libraries that aren't libraries of books, they're libraries of things. And it's a great resource for not having to buy stuff that you're only going to use when you're entertaining. And you don't have to worry about storing it afterwards. You just return it, just like a library. So in Kitchener, we have the KW Library of Things. And I just did a quick search on it was either entertaining or dinnerware to find out if you were having a party, what you could borrow from them.
Okay.
Punch bowl, buffet server, cake pop maker, ice cream maker, utensils, plates, slow cooker, chocolate fountain.
Is this an app?
How fun are those? No, it's a brick and mortar library.
I didn't even know we had this. This is amazing.
It is amazing. So it's a membership, just like a library. I don't even know if you get a card, but it's a membership. You go online. Right now it is online and it's curbside. Yeah. But they have, aside from entertaining, camping equipment and construction tools. I can't even begin to tell you how many hundreds of things they have. But you borrow it, you use it when you need it. How often do you need a chocolate fountain? And then you return it. And it's there for the next person to use.
Well, in a perfect world, I would always have a chocolate fountain ready, but I understand what you mean.
Okay, let's say the buffet server.
You're right.
So it's not something people need on a daily basis, and it takes up room, and it is an expense to buy it, but you can borrow it. And
this is so cool. I feel like my jaw, I need to be like, because I'm shocked. I'm shocked that I didn't know about this, but just shocked at also how simple and brilliant the idea is and how many options there are available for us.
And you know what? It keeps growing. These libraries pop up. I know there's one in Guelph as well, in Toronto, and a lot of it is based on donations. As I'm clearing out my house, hey, that ice cream maker that we never use, I'll donate it there. So being able to borrow things like that can really liven up your entertaining. And you can switch it up. Hey, this time it's a chocolate fountain. Next time we're going to have cake pops. Or both, maybe.
That is so cool.
I just have one quick tip about disposable paper napkins, and that is to choose reusable. It's a simple switch. All you do at the end of the night is just wash them, and they're there to reuse. And like I said, the satisfaction of knowing that you can do this and not create waste and not create a huge impact on our environment it's an awesome feeling. It truly is. And that, I think, inspires people to not just to continue it, but to share it. Hey, look what I did. Hey, look what I didn't have to buy.
There's the hidden gem in it all. If you're approaching entertainment like this, it's naturally going to come up in conversation. And ultimately, we need to be talking about these things more and more and more. So it's just that extra step that just naturally comes along with taking this step. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.